No, I haven't had any interactions at all except for the meeting. I guess we found out it's only a 2-year ban, not a 4-year, which to me is complete bull. And I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe I'll start a petition or something with all the UFC fighters. Maybe we can all band together and ask for a petition to get a minimum 4-year ban. Why would you not sign the petition unless you're juicing, right? I think it should be a lifetime ban, but I say 4 years, you know, and hopefully we can all work together. That's what the WADA standard is. I find it ludicrous that we have a f***ing standard for every other sport except for the one where you can get f***ing murdered in a cage. People do die doing this. Just not in the UFC, people haven't yet, fortunately. The day's gonna come when it happens. We all know that. If it happens to someone that got beat by a known juicer, is that not gonna be more of an issue? I don't wanna be the dead one because a motherfucker was sticking needles in himself all day.
Prior to this fight, I was at my brother's. My brother got married last month, and me and my younger brother were the best men, you know. So the day after the wedding, my phone's ringing at like 9 o'clock in the morning. Like, what the hell? Like, what is, you know? We're in Utah. I'm like, snooze, you know. Then my rings again. I'm like, see ya. Like, then my manager called me like, hey, USADA's looking for you. They're, you know, what's up? You know, I'm like, well, you know, I was at my brother's wedding. So I called the guy back. Hey, you know, I've been to your house, been to your gym. Where are you? I'm like, I'm 3 hours upstate. Okay, can you give me the address? Like, all right. And I came upstate, and I was at a brunch with my mom at this diner, and they're taking blood from me outside, and you know, went to the urination in the bathroom at the diner. It was like, all right, I mean, you guys are for real.
I've requested to be randomly drug tested for this fight, knowing that the bouts were supposed to start, I mean, that rule was supposed to start July 1st. I haven't got tested not once yet, so I was upset about that. But I'm just hoping that all the propaganda they've done about it holds up, you know, that they're going to be testing us regularly. I want them to show up at my house on a Saturday morning, hey, you got to piss in this cup, you know. I think that's what'll clean up the sport, you know. That's the only thing that'll help. I don't agree too much with the recreational drugs, because if somebody wants to smoke a joint one day, I mean, what, you're going to ban them for a year, whatever it is, because they want to do that? So my span of my career, 8 years, I'll never get to do a certain something, you know. As long as you're not on PEDs, I don't think recreational should matter, you know.
I haven't had to do anything yet, but we had our meeting, and you know, it's kind of like being on probation. They're going to know where you're at, you know, as far as like when you're training, when you're at home, when you're sleeping, when you're on vacation, so that they can test properly, you know, and hold the fighters accountable, which is awesome. You know, it evens the playing field. You know, everyone needs to be on the same playing field, and I think this is the best way for them to do it. And you know, it might be a pain in the ass, but at the same time, it's going to make us all very honest, and you know, it's going to keep people on their P's and Q's, and I think that's the way it needs to be, you know?
No, I haven't had to do any of my whereabouts. You know, I'm all about cleaning up the sport. The only thing that really kind of concerned me was just the IVs, you know. You know, I like going to the hospital, getting an IV, doing things proper, and whatever I can that way. You know, it's just going to come with better preparation the next time I fight. I'm glad that this fight, they gave us a little bit of a leeway, and they're real cool about that. But as far as like drugs, PEDs, there's nothing I have to worry about. I've always taken pride in being a natural man, being clean in the sport. Even though like people that I fought in the same card got sick knockouts, I didn't get a bonus, and obviously clearly there's another guy on steroids who does it. But I mean, it is what it is, man. And this is a sport. I'm glad it's cleaning up, and it's getting to another level. It puts us on another caliber, you know, especially with Reebok coming in. Even though it may be a rough start, whatever, you know, they may or may not be here in the end. But you know, other people like Reebok, Nike, Adidas, they're always going to be around and wanting to be in part of the UFC. So that's real huge as well. So hopefully it just turns out for the best, and I think it will.
Well said, brother. It's a process we have to go through yet, and I can't speak about so much on it. But it is a process, and they'll let me know when the process is scheduled, when they do it. It's not, everybody thinks it's something that happened like yesterday. It's not gonna happen like that. It's a process, because they understand, you know, fighters have to fight, we gotta cut weight, so we can't do it necessarily now, but they get scheduled for all the fighters for the UFC to do it within a good time frame for them. And then we got then they're gonna start the process like that.
We had the meeting last night, and they're telling us about the whereabout application and all that stuff where we have to sign in. It's awesome. It's awesome. Guys aren't going to be able to find them loopholes to cheat, and I think that's the big factor in it. And now that this is getting implemented, getting put in place, dudes are starting to drop like flies, you know. And I think it's something that's needed to happen for a long time. I've fought dudes that I know for a fact were on stuff, but you don't want to be that guy to be like, oh, you know, I'm not going to do it because you have an advantage or whatever. It's a level playing field now, and I think that's super cool and it's huge for our sport.